Hey, folks, it's Jody Demling. I'm still on the road, and Michael McCammon of CardinalAuthority.com. And Michael, it's been a fun month. I'm doing this right now as I'm on my balcony overlooking a pool that if I wasn't on the 10th floor, I think I'd jump in right now.
Yeah, and not a bad day to do it. But, Jody, outside of the Louisville coaching staff themselves, nobody has seen the guys that Louisville is interested, more than you. So obviously a lot of people sitting on the edges of their seats, sitting at their computer screens, on their phones, whatever their device is, looking to get your reaction and input on how the last month has gone for this staff.
Well, and again, I will do a trend meter. I will do an updated big board and some other things throughout the week. And if you look on the site right now on Sunday night, I'm going to do a story on each of the guys that I think are main targets. So we started that out with a nice little story on Alex O'Connell and also on Darius Perry. So, but Michael, it was my goal to kind of try to figure out where Coach P was going to go and follow him as much as I could. And I didn't have to go very far. I could just go with Malik Williams for most of it. It's been pretty unbelievable. First of all, I don't believe, and I asked him this on Saturday, and he kind of smiled, so I know he kind of agrees with me. I don't think Rick Pitino has ever worked as hard during a recruiting time as he did this summer. There were 6 days that the staff had to be off the road because of the self-imposed ban and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, these guys, they were working their tails off, and they had him going everywhere. It was pretty unbelievable, really.
Yeah, and speaking of Malik Williams, I mean, they blanketed that guy pretty much. I mean, he couldn't really almost go anywhere without seeing a coach with the Cardinal insignia on his shirt. But yeah, especially after missing those earlier days due to the self-imposed, they really came out gangbusters, especially Rick Pitino, making sure that he was highly visible with all the kids that they're really interested in. And I really liked how during that first portion of period during July, they really locked in some guys, and then seemed to sit back, get back in town, reevaluate, what they saw, and then seemed to lock in on a few additional guys that seemed to become those key prospects.
Yeah, and really, I think it's down to 8 guys. They're going to sign forward in this class. I think it's down to 8 guys that they really, really want. Now, before we go into some guys, people might ask, okay, what are they going to sign? I'm under the opinion that they will sign 1 point guard, 1 shooting guard, and 2 bigger guys. Now, is that 2 centers? Is that Lance Thomas and Malik Williams? Is that Malik Williams and Maktar Gui? Is that that kind of thing? Yeah, I just think it's some form of 2 bigger guys. I think unfortunately they're in really good shape for Darius Perry and for Mekhi Ashton Langford. I think it's one of those guys, and I think it's either Alex O'Connell or Brandon Randolph, and they're in really good shape for both of those guys. It's one of those guys. Either one of the combination of those 4 would be a great start, and I think Malik Williams is the main target right now with O'Connell. I think they want him, but they would take any combination of Malik Williams, Lance Thomas, and Maktar Gui as well as the big guys.
Yeah, and when you look at it, how much timing is going to start playing a role in it. Obviously, guys, you mentioned Alex O'Connell. Some guys are going to start taking their official visits. His coming up very soon with Louisville. How much will that timing with Louisville want to really shore up that class? So it's going to be interesting to see now that these guys are starting to come make their official visits, how the timing works out with everything for the Cardinals.
Yeah, it really will. And, Alex O'Connell's going to get the first visit on August the 1st. First and second, Darius Perry comes in the night of the 2nd. We'll get the 3rd and the 4th. I'm under the assumption that both Brandon Randolph and Mekhi Ashton Langford probably will come in on September 1st, with Lance Thomas coming in the 3rd and the 4th of September. And I don't know that Malik Williams will take an official visit. It's kind of up in the air right now. So we'll keep you up to date on all of the official visits and all that kind of good stuff. So it'll be interesting to see who schedules and when they schedule official visits. All right, let's start with the top of the list, Michael. And you mentioned Malik Williams. He's the 7-foot guy from Fort Wayne, Indiana, and they were at 27 games this summer. He played 27. They were at all 27. Coach Pitino, I think, saw 15 of his games, and if I'm not mistaken, didn't miss a game the last 2 weeks. Pretty unbelievable.
Wow. I mean, that's as we talked about at the beginning, that is obviously the visibility. I can't imagine there was another head coach that saw Malik more than Louisville's Rick Pitino during this last evaluation period. Clearly becoming their number one target.
Yeah, no, clearly becoming at the top of the list, as Rick Pitino put, a lot of emphasis on him. And to be quite honest, the emphasis didn't really go on to Malik Williams until we started hearing about how Louisville was kind of in the lead for Malik Williams. So they did a very nice job of knowing where they're at, figuring out where they're at, and then pouncing and trying to lock it up. I thought for a while, I didn't get down here in Orlando. I'm still in Orlando. I didn't get into Orlando until late Friday night because of some travel issues, and I thought that Rick Pitino was going to leave and go to Miami. I thought that probably was what he would end up doing the last 2 days, but he actually stayed on Saturday for Malik Williams' 2 games, and come to find out, I was talking to Malik's mom, and she kind of figured it was because she was coming, and Coach Pitino wanted her to make sure that she saw him, and I had a really nice conversation with Natasha, his mom, and that stuff matters to them. The fact that Tom Izzo wasn't there, the fact that Tom Izzo wasn't there on the last 2 days, Michael, it matters to parents like Natasha. So, all right, as we go through this podcast, we're going to get you a bunch of other news and stuff to do it. I do want to play you, though, Michael, a quick little excerpt of an interview that I did with Malik Williams after he finished up in the AAU Super Showcase at the Wide World of Sports complex on the Disney campus, so to speak, on Saturday.
To do it with the same team, the same guys, and to win 20. I think you only lost 6 games all summer. I mean, it's pretty special.
I mean, it's real special. They're like my brothers, and it's just a great journey, and we're just gonna keep on working so all of us can go to the next level.
You brought a lot of coaches to your game. Don't you think it helped some of them, or maybe potentially, hopefully, help some of them?
Yeah, definitely. I think that everybody on here will get a call or two, and just hopefully we all can get the offer that we deserve.
For you, how would you talk about your game this summer? And kind of what did you think? How did you think you performed, especially this week?
I feel like I performed pretty good. I've been working on my inside game, and a lot of my games I was going inside and dominating in the post.
It was like in high school, you're mostly inside, right?
In high school, last year I played the 3.
So to be able to show off all your skills here in front of all the coaches, it's beneficial for you, and against the competition only makes you better, right?
Yeah, a lot better. I mean, the competition was great all week and all summer, and we just performed good, and we was always the underdog, and just to get the wins that we did is great.
Now, unfortunately, it's over, and now you got a big decision. I mean, now is when you kind of have to start thinking, right?
Yeah.
What do you sit down with mom and discuss a plan, or?
Yeah, I'll sit down with my mom and my coach, my AAU coach Juan Gorman, and we're going to talk about it. And just when the time is right, we'll make the decision.
What do you think you'll narrow? Do you have any idea what you might do? Will you narrow a list? Will you just?
Right now, I'm not sure. I'm kind of leaning towards narrowing my list and just. I'm not sure.
It's kind of up in the air, right?
Yeah.
Have you had fun this summer? Because it's been at times all the coaches around and all that kind of stuff.
I had a lot of fun, not only on the court, just off the court, just spending time with the guys and going to places like Six Flags and the beach and just having a great last summer. And I mean, the wins that we got was fun, and the losses that we took, we still battled hard, and we never gave up in none of our games.
The last thing, Coach Pitino didn't miss a game, I don't think, the last 2 weeks. Does that tell you something?
I mean, yeah, it does. I try not to pay too much attention, but I do look over there and see his face. And, I mean, it means a lot because he's a head coach, and I know he's a busy guy. He got other kids to recruit, and just for him to be here every game, it means something.
Did he tell you that was kind of their plan, that you were a priority?
I mean, yeah, he did.
I know it doesn't affect anything, but it's still,
Yeah.
it goes a long way into saying how much they want you, right?
Yeah.
What about them, last thing before you end the summer here, what about their style do you think you fit best in?
I mean, just that I'm not just an inside guy or just an outside guy, and that I'm versatile and that they will use me the right way that I need to be used.
All right, so that was Malik Williams, and again, I think he's a Louisville lean, and I think that they're in very, very good shape with Malik. We'll go down the list. Alex O'Connell right there with Malik Williams. Alex actually didn't play this week with his team United. He's at the Skills Academy He's at the Skills Academy over in where am I thinking? Los Angeles. Yeah, Los Angeles. That's it. And you know, he's a kid that Coach Pitino really took some emphasis and put some emphasis on, and they really won him, and he's going to get the first visit on August the 1st. Next Monday, he will visit. And Michael, remember, for everybody out there, I start my vacation next Saturday. You know what happens when I go on vacation.
The commitments are going to start rolling.
Teddy Bridgewater, back when I was working at the Courier-Journal, committed when I was on vacation. Eli Rogers, because he committed right around the same time as Teddy did. Keith Kelsey. The last time I was in Destin, Florida, where for vacation in that area down there, you know, on that coast. And I'm not saying we're going back there, but we're going back there. Jaquan Lyle and Keith Kelsey committed in a matter of 2 days. Now, Jaquan didn't work out well, but a lot of things happen when I go on vacation.
This is true. You know, and it's always exciting. I know I get thrilled, not just because you're going away and you're not going to be calling me as much. Actually, a lot of times you actually start calling me more because so much news does break when you hit the shores or wherever you actually go on vacation. So should be an exciting, coming week for here at Cardinal Authority. Yeah,
it should be. So, but Alex and Malik are the top targets. The point guard targets, I've been told Louisville leads for both Mekhi Ashton Langford and for Darius Perry. Which one do they take? I think it's pretty clear they've got Darius Perry coming in on a first official visit. I think it's clear that in a lot of people's opinion, he's not as good as Mekhi Ashton Langford on the boards. We've seen that. We've heard that. Evan Daniels made a good point to me the other day in talking about the two, and Evan said, while he might not be ranked as high as Mekhi, Darius Perry is a Louisville guard. Think of Rick Pitino guards at Louisville. Darius Perry is that. Nothing against Mekhi. And actually, if you made me pick right now, I would say I'd rather have Mekhi Ashton Langford than Darius Perry. It's close, but Darius is an absolute dog on the defensive end. And that, folks, is what sets him apart. Yes, he's a little he takes some shots that are questionable. He's going to learn, and he's not a great shooter. Neither is Mekhi, but he's not a great shooter. But he can shoot, and the form is there. But he is a dog on defense. He reminds me a lot of those guys that Rick Pitino has had in the past. I hate to say it, but he's a guy that really, when you think about it, kind of fits the system better. But like I said, at this point, I'm still in the Mekhi corner because I really, really think he is just a prototypical big-time point guard. I think that I don't think you can miss with either one of them.
Yeah, both about the same size, 6'2", 175, 180 in there. You know, you're looking at Darius Perry, the number 16 point guard in the country. Mekhi, the number 7 point guard in the country. But I like what you're saying because, defense is that one thing you always hear about Coach Pitino, and that's one of the hardest things to coach. The odd shots, things like that, you could fix coming out of high school and going up to that next level. But you love to hear a guy that loves to get after it on the defensive end.
Yeah, so anyway, we've got some good stuff going on with the point guards there. And, like I said, the other guys, Lance Thomas is still on the board. Brandon Randolph, obviously high up on the board. Lindell Wigington still on the board. I think Mokhtar Gui is kind of the guy who they've gotten